Summertime in Long Branch is almost here, and with it, the 25th Oceanfest. I've got Nancy Kleiberg. You're the executive director of the chamber.
Yes.
For as long as I've been mayor.
Right.
Guaranteed to stay as long as I stay.
Yes.
And Esther is the owner of, Esther Cohen, who is the owner of Cedar and Beaches and chairman of the Oceanfest committee, or?
Co-chairperson.
Co-chairperson.
Nancy Kleiberg.
So I got the people who are running the 4th of July. I don't have to do anything that day then. You're in charge.
That's right.
Okay.
All you have to do is show up at the end of the day and make a speech.
I have to talk?
That shouldn't be difficult.
Okay. All right. I will do that. We can joke as much as we want, but when this started in 1991, we weren't joking around. It was a little stressful.
No.
No guarantees of success.
No.
No guarantees people were going to show up. No guarantee vendors were going to show up.
We had about 25 vendors that year.
But it worked out pretty well.
Yes, it did.
What are your best memories of that day?
Best memories of that day, the fireworks actually were shot off from the old pier. And there was such a success. Everybody loved the fireworks, and we just wanted to keep.
And the ashes kind of blew in on us.
Yes, they did.
That was the year the wind was coming from the west to the east, and as we sat there watching them go off, we watched a few ashes blow on and land on our heads. But there were some naysayers. A fair number of them.
Quite a few.
I won't name any names, but I can remember a few people thinking this is not going to come off, and it's not going to be safe, and nobody's going to come. It worked.
It worked.
Did you ever think we would have 25 of them, though?
We didn't even go as far as Madison Avenue. We just went in front of the hotel. And, you know, we had some of the food vendors are still with us today. And now we have over 200 vendors that come.
Do you take everybody who wants to come?
The food vendors, they're basically the same food vendors that come back year after year because they kind of own the spot. And it's kind of a right of first refusal. So when they drop out, then we will take a new vendor in. So it's only fair, because especially some of them have been with us for 25 years. Arts and craft vendors, they have to go before a committee.
I can remember a few people yelling at you that you didn't have them.
That's right. That's right. So it goes, you know, they have to submit photographs, and then it goes before the committee, and then that's how the selection is done.
So we get a higher quality every year.
Yes.
That's a good thing. Now, when did you get involved, Esther?
I got involved shortly after I came to the city, when I bought what was then the rooming house known as Tall Timbers, and then started to convert it into Cedars and Beaches Bed and Breakfast.
And you got involved in the chamber right away?
I got involved with the chamber right away, and involved with Oceanfest as the #1 function of the chamber.
And how long have you been, I know you've been involved, but how long have you been the co-chairman?
I've only been the co-chairman, I guess since, what is it, third year now.
You enjoy it?
Yes, as a matter of fact. It's the fact that it's such a successful event that when we're always trying to find more creative events for the people that come and visit us, so that they can, yes, they have the same food vendors because those work. But the arts and crafts vendors, we try to always make sure that there's different products for different people. So we don't have, you know, 6 people doing sand castles or whatever.
Or sand art.
Or sand art, yes.
That's an inside joke.
Okay.
I was there. There was a woman who was complaining we didn't have enough sand art, and she was looking for the person in charge. I happened to be standing there, and I didn't say a word. And I don't think your husband said a whole lot at that moment.
No, I don't think so either.
You had to sort of deal with it. You were in charge, though. I mean, you know, people wonder how we pay for all this. I mean, and there is unquestionably taxpayer involvement, but it's not just taxpayers. No. You guys do a lot of fundraising and sponsorships and corporations and.
We have a lot of really good major sponsors.
Who are they for this year?
For instance, Monmouth Medical is always one of our big ones. Monmouth University, Ansel Zarrow, Ansel Grimm, I guess.
Ansel Grimm and Aaron. We
Right.
should give Jimmy a.
I could give Jimmy a push.
Right.
You want to jump in?
We have iHeart Radio iHeartMedia. So that's Q104.3, Z100, and WKTU. So those are our New York radio stations.
Which
that
is
really,
great for us because that gives our reach tremendous space.
Are they advertising the event before the 4th? Are they plugging it?
Oh, absolutely.
Before and last year, even after for a week. So it was really, they really...
What'd they do after?
After they talked about how great the fireworks were, how great the
Okay,
event was,
okay.
how the vendors and the entertainment that we have, all the
And they all
different
hung
bands.
out during the rain.
Yes.
I mean, last year's memory for me was it's raining, it's not a great day. I don't remember what time I came down, but it wasn't that great then. And when it stopped raining, people poured in.
It was like watching the gates open and
Yeah.
just floods of people coming in. It was
Now,
amazing.
For anybody who wants to know, I mean, we've been really fortunate with weather.
That's
Yeah.
the first time in 25 years.
Well, we had one year where it stormed. I
just
don't-
before the fireworks.
Right, we had to put them off for a night because there was nobody there.
Right.
Right.
And it made no sense. And
That was only one time.
right, we've actually had, again, knocking on wood, we've had 2 years with shaky fireworks. But out of 25, that's not so bad.
Right.
And very good weather. A couple of years of severe heat, but it's summer.
It's summer.
Nancy, since you were there, I can fill in the gaps. But what did the oceanfront look like in 1991?
In 1991, the hotel was not completed. The promenade was done. It was the first year that the promenade was done before the storm in
Before the
92.
first storm.
The first storm that put a big
Right.
hunk out of it. Actually, none of the, of course, Pier Village wasn't there. None of
Wasn't
Beach
even
Marine was-
envisioned yet.
No.
I mean,
The
getting
old Armory was still there. Beach Club wasn't there at that time.
and maybe I wouldn't say it's my favorite year, except somewhat ironically, the year the water slide was still there, and on the 4th of July, the Asbury Park Press on the front page
Yes.
had a picture of the rat, and the headline was rat-infested water slide.
Right.
And we're sitting there on that day trying to get people to come.
Right. A day before Oceanfest, they put that in.
Was it the day before
Yes,
the day?
it-
My memory was it was the day of. But either way,
Either-
it wasn't exactly
No.
supportive of what we were trying
No.
to accomplish. But over the years, may be the best one-day marketing / advertising for the city we could have. People come down, our beaches are full, the restaurants are full, the hotel's full.
We have over 250,000 people that come down. That's 250,000 people coming to visit Long Branch by bus,
Right.
train, car.
And I think one thing, the then public safety director in 1991 was not that optimistic. I'm hard pressed to think of a single police incident in 25 years.
Yeah.
2 guys coming out of one of the fancy schmancy bars in Pier Village. One's got into a little bit. I remember watching that
Right.
from the Hilton.
Yeah.
No big deal.
No.
Occasional traffic tie-ups if you want to leave as the fireworks just ended.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot, but a good time. How many of the members of the chamber participate and help out?
I'd say we probably have about 25.
There's probably about 25 on the committee that actually, work
Any
the
volunteers?
event. We have also a few that actually act as our vendors as well.
When, we tape this, it's Oceanfest is a little bit more than 2 months away when we're taping this. How hard is the committee working now? What do they have to do in the next 2 months?
Well, of course, we're planning the entertainment right now, getting the vendors in, getting them located, as far as placed, and same with the food vendors. We've got a couple of new things coming in this year,
Like?
like a zip line. Yes, it's going to be on the beach.
Okay.
Actually, I met with them this morning, and they're very excited about it. So by the Seaview Avenue entrance to the beach, there's going to be a zip line that goes 35 feet high on the beach, and then it's going to be about between 100 and 300 feet long.
That's a big gap, 100 to 300?
I'm not exactly sure how much
Okay.
space they have because they weren't able to measure it out, but that's how far it can go.
I assume they'll charge for this entertainment.
Yes, they will. That definitely be charged.
And you don't drop into the ocean.
No, it'll be
Say-
all on the sand.
Okay, that's pretty
Okay.
cool. You've
It
never
is.
done that before.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, that's
new.
that's a new event.
Where's that guy coming from?
He's coming from Pennsylvania.
What else are you having that's new?
We have more bands going to be playing this year. They're going to be starting at 12 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And plus we have the poetry reading. It's going to be.
You know, Long Branch has its own poet laureate,
Yes, it does.
Emmanuel Di Pasquale, and if he's watching this, he's probably getting very, I mean, I get emails from him now. The number of poets who are coming to participate in the 4th of July poetry reading is impressive. He's very excited.
Good.
But, you know, there's something there for almost everybody.
Yes. That's what we try to do. The children's entertainment will be at the Garfield statue. And you know, then the main stage will have the bands.
The main stage being the Great Lawn
Yes.
stage.
Yes, that's where all the bands will be playing. Like I said, start at 12 o'clock and go right till the end of the fireworks. And then we, like I said, we're moving the zip line down to the other end to try to spread everything out. And then we'll be having the sand sculptures back again too.
They'll be in the same spot.
Yes.
If I remember, Monmouth Park pays for one. There's.
Well, we don't really have our sponsors yet.
Oh, for
We're
those?
still working on sponsorships, yeah.
So if somebody's watching this and they have a fairly significant sum of money and want to write a check, you're willing to
Oh,
talk to
absolutely.
them. How do they get a hold of you guys?
They can just call us at the chamber office, or they can.
222-0400?
Yes.
732-222-0400.
Or they can email us at info@longbranchchamber.org.
Okay, so they can get a hold of you. From your perspective, I mean, it is I don't know if it's a money maker, but it's certainly good for cash flow. I mean, I don't think any of us sit down and figure out how many hours we spend working on Oceanfest.
Yeah.
One of the things we've seen, and it's one of the things I'm proudest about, other towns have stopped. You know, for austerity reasons or security reasons. You know, as a kid, I went to Red Bank, and they're not coming back to Red Bank this year. I don't know if they ever will, but we're getting bigger, better, and more enthusiastic. That's got to make people at the chamber feel pretty good.
Oh, it does.
What do you think it's done for the businesses in town?
I think it's helped a lot of the businesses. I mean, everybody looks forward to it. You know, a lot of them will participate. You know, like a lot of our restaurants are food vendors.
But I think it
morale on.
also you know, I think the vision is also expansive because let's say someone is just introduced to Long Branch first on a July 4th basis. You know, they may see all the things that the town has to offer over and beyond Oceanfest and then come back again. So I think it has residual effects for our businesses as well.
Now, you're in the hospitality field. How many people come? Do you do more business on the 4th because of it, or are they coming anyway because of the beach?
I think they're coming anyway because it's 4th of July and it's a holiday.
Right.
However, I think that what I have seen over the years in terms of, and this is what I mean by the residual business, when I first opened Cedars and Beaches, our season was basically the end of June to the beginning of September. You know, today we have seasonality that starts in April and goes all the way till the end of October. And that's people who are, I know for myself, are repeat clients to the inn. So I have to think it's repeat clients for our restaurants, for all of our other, you know, visitor tourist attractions.
All right. Well, that's a good bit to end the first half, and we'll be back in a minute.
The research here at St. Jude is very important. It gave my daughter a second chance at life.
Because we have donors that believe in what we're doing, we can really move our research forward much faster.
St. Jude is working to drive the overall survival rate for childhood cancer to 90% in the next decade. And we won't stop until no child dies from cancer.
Because of you. Gracias a ti.
Because of you,
There is St. Jude.
We're back with the second half of the show. We're talking about Oceanfest, which is about to have its 25th year. Now, we're sitting here telling stories, some of which aren't safe for publication. But most of the public thinks the city writes the check for the fireworks, and we don't.
No.
We pay for other things, but
Right.
fireworks, and a lot of it is on the chamber.
Yeah, the chamber pays for all the fireworks, porta-johns, sound system, electric,
Entertainment.
entertainment. Yes, the sand sculptors, I mean, we pay a lot of money. We even have to pay for sand that gets trucked in from Atlantic City.
It has to be a special sand.
Where do they get it in Atlantic City? Do we steal it from their beach?
No, no, we have to have a company truck it in.
30
because-
tons of it.
Yes.
What is, I probably have been told that before, but I have forgotten great amounts of information.
Yeah, apparently the sand has to be dirty. And
Okay.
it packs much better, and it's a finer sand. So the sculptors, what they normally do is Public Works will make a pile of sand, and then we put that on top of it so that they can sculpt it. So usually we use 10 tons per sand pile.
That's a big pile of sand.
Yeah, it
I mean,
is.
I can tell you every year, my job, all joking aside, is I walk from one end to the other and back and just talk to people and look at the vendors and just see how things are going. And you always have a crowd watching the sculptors. And what they do is really
No,
cool.
it's amazing.
It's art. It really is art.
And I don't quite get where they practice and how they learn it. Do they teach it in school or they're all self-taught? But you look at it, I've seen them for the hospital, for the university, for Monmouth Park, and it's pretty cool.
It is.
And so for people who are wondering, who pay, the city pays, we're a co-sponsor.
Right.
And we pay for the cops. It is our biggest one-day event in DPW. And I'll tell you, one of the compliments I get every year, because generally it's the kickoff of my week off for the summer, the next day people will see me and say, I took a walk on the promenade and it was spotless.
Right.
It's clean that night. For those of us who wait after the fireworks go off and we finally say, day's over, we sort of collapse into our chair till they make us move.
Now we start meeting
watch them clean.
with all the department heads. We've already had our first meeting for the year. And I can say this, and as you said, I've only been the co-chair for 3 years, though I've worked with the, with the committees for many years before that. Our different departments of the city do an incredible job, from public safety, for the fire department, knowing everything they need to know about fireworks over that many people. All of that is planned out. All of that, all the departments in the city that really work with us on this, they do an incredible job.
Well, one of the sponsors I think we need to mention is the hotel, because
Yes.
through
Oh,
different
yes.
owners, managers, without them, this is an impossible event to pull off.
Absolutely.
Give us some idea what they do to help.
Well, I mean, they take care of all the first aid, and they have actually cots in there in case somebody is not feeling well, so that they go in there. Red Cross is in there also. They have a break room for all the volunteers, being all the fire departments and the police. So,
Well,
so they
give
get
some
meat.
I mean, we're bringing in Monmouth County First Aid, we're bringing in Red Cross, we're bringing in all sorts of other safety agencies and police from other towns.
And
to
the
help
hotel
coordinate
feeds
the day.
them all.
And the hotel feeds them all.
Yeah.
For those, it's no longer the Hilton, hasn't been
Right.
for a long time. It's
No.
the Ocean Place Conference and Resort.
Resort and spa.
Resort and Spa. It's, like I said, through a couple different
Yes.
incarnations,
Yes.
they have been there.
And
including
then we
the
also
Colonel.
have our VIP reception in the evening there.
Which
It's for our-
outside on the, where were we last year? Last year we were down on the
No,
ground
last-
level, or we were
no,
upstairs?
Last
were
year we were
upstairs.
inside, upstairs, on the two ends.
And then we
on the
went
second
outside
floor.
for the fireworks.
Yes.
Right.
We've had some, I'll tell you, they throw one hell of a party.
Yes.
Yep.
They've really done a great job by the city.
They've been very supportive of the
And
event.
I fair to assume that for the 25th year, their support is continuing and
Yes.
as good as ever. That's great. And, it's an opportunity to thank them for it.
And we should mention some of our other sponsors as well. We mentioned a few before. But
Right. Stop and Shop is a new sponsor this year. And so we're really, happy to have them on board. New Jersey Lottery is back again. And I'm just trying to think, AJD Construction is back again also.
So, we've got a lot of, it's
Yeah.
a lot of community and outside community support.
And that helps, and that pays for the fireworks as well as the entertainment and all the things that we mentioned before. And then this year, we also have another option for people who are looking for tax-deductible donations, because our Long Branch Community Fund, which helps pay for the fireworks, is a tax-deductible 501c3 deduction.
Is that a recent
Yes.
change?
Yes, that's brand new this year.
That's brand new this year.
So somebody set that up for the chamber so
Yes.
that not only are you getting advertising, you might even get a tax deduction. Never a
Right.
bad idea. Now, we've had years, and now I think we're accustomed to the success. We're also, I think we're the biggest 4th of July event in the state.
I think so.
I don't think anybody's close anymore. We've had some years the fireworks weren't that good. I mean, the one I remember, and so people know, A, we regretted it, but B, those firework vendors were not invited back.
That's
Correct.
right.
There was the year they parked a truck in the middle of the crowd and then shorted us on the fireworks, and we kept waiting for them to go off, and that was the show.
Yeah.
But we've had the same firework vendor for how long now?
Let's see. Since the last one that we had that didn't go off
so-
too well, the one they had the fire on the beach.
That was the one on there was the
That was
one on the,
7 years ago.
but the guys we have in now are whom?
International Fireworks, and they're out of Pennsylvania, and they've been terrific.
Tremendously professional.
Absolutely.
I mean, one of the things I enjoy looking at, because you don't know this as a kid. You go to fireworks, they go off, but you watch these guys set up during the day, sometimes in hot, miserable conditions, and they're crawling around in the sand, and they set up the I don't even
Caissons? Is that what they call
something
them?
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
casings, and they're setting them off on the beach, and we're pretty. One of the advantages is where we sit. It's pretty close. You got a pretty cool, loud view with the smell
We're
of
very
gunpowder.
fortunate that we don't have to shoot the fireworks from a barge,
Yes.
because that is so costly. And then everything has to be done electronically. So because we were able to do it off the beach, they actually hand light some of them. Some of it's done, I think the finale is done electronically. But
Yeah.
the rest of it is actually hand lit.
When you say hand lit,
Yeah, hand lit.
somebody's running around with a lighter setting.
Yeah.
these- I mean, and these are pretty big casings.
Yeah. The largest is 12-inch shells.
About yay big. That's a pretty, I mean, listen, I have friends of mine who watch from a beach in Elberon because they don't have to deal with the crowd. They sit there. I don't think I could watch fire. I need the noise. I like the, I'm not crazy about the soundtrack that they use because they use this just about the same one every year. It's a little boring. And the music's a little schmaltzy. But the noise and the fireworks and the gunpowder smell, I mean, it's a pretty cool scene. I don't know that my youngest daughter has ever sat, it's too loud for her. If she hears this, she'll be mortified I mentioned her. But it's one of the treats of a father. You get to embarrass
That's
your
right,
kids
you
now
can do
and then.
that.
But I mean, it's become, I mean, statewide. You get calls from all over. I want to come to Long Branch. How do I get there? Where can I stay? Where can I eat? I mean, it's done its job.
We have vendors that come all the way from Georgia.
What do they sell?
Food, with seafood.
The seafood?
One of the seafood restaurants, or the Blackjack Grill is the name of it. And he does Cajun seafood, as well as paella.
How many years has he been there?
He's been there at least five.
I
5 or
don't
6
think I've
years.
ever, now that I know he's from Georgia, I will, I'll get something. My problem is that some days you're out there, you're in the sun, you're on your feet all day. Hot food is not what I'm looking for in the middle of the afternoon. Are you having the basketball tournament this year, or is that,
I don't think so.
that's
No,
not coming
we
back?
haven't done that in a couple of years.
Has it been that long? What other things are you having that we haven't? Is the zip line the only new thing, or is there
Now,
more?
we're going to have the bouncy rides for the children on the Great Lawn.
Are you advertising it any differently because it's the 25th?
Actually, we have a new website that we're going to be launching around May 15th for Oceanfest. So we're very excited
Is
about
that the one, and I'll give a plug to Word on the Shore, because I know if I go on that website, they have a Oceanfest countdown clock going now.
Yeah.
I forget how many days it is from now. I don't, not enough.
Right.
But I know that if I look at it, it tells me, because I look at it because for my own selfish reason is generally I work July 1st and 2nd. The 3rd is if I get my work done, I don't have, that's the incentive. And then I take a week off, and it's always a nice feeling. So I should look, I can look at it as.
Well, Susie Woolley and I will be marking the promenade, the spaces, probably a week before the event. So you'll see us crawling around the promenade, putting tape down.
Even though it's done by rote, you know who's getting going where. What time do you guys start that morning?
About 6 a.m.
And what time do the first vendors show up? About 6 a.m.?
About 7 usually.
And what time do the crowd start to show up?
Sometimes they're
They've
there
been
at
showing up earlier and
Early and
earlier.
earlier every
Last
day.
year, it was like
In the rain?
9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
We advertised 10 to 10.
10 to 10.
10 to 10.
I
but
know that I've been down there some years because I'll get a call from somebody being persuasive. Can you come down for an interview at 6 o'clock in the morning? You know, News Channel 12 or
Right.
New Jersey Network, or somebody wants to come down. And there's no question at 6:30 in the morning, the oceanfront is
Spectacular.
not only spectacular, the sun's coming up, it's a beautiful day, but the amount of people who are down there participating and working, paid, volunteer, and vendor it's a cool thing to
Yeah.
watch.
It is.
Your favorite day of the year or your least favorite?
No, it's one of my favorites.
You have to say that.
I have to say that.
Esther,
No, but I do enjoy the event.
I mean, it's pretty exciting I know that at the end, and we're almost done, but at the end of the night, like when we're sitting in the fireworks and the adrenaline's starting to leave the body, it's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. It really is.
Yeah.
It's 365 days of work culminating in something that's so successful. And what
And
else
just
could
about
be?
everybody's in a good mood by the end of the day.
Yeah. Tired, but yeah, we're all
And then
in
we
a
sit
good
down
mood.
and really have a good time. Well, thank you very much. And
Thank you.
everybody have a great summer.